Now, boys and girls, one of the things that we absolutely love to do around here is roast the people that properly deserve it. There's been a lot of companies out there. There's been a lot of bad actors in the media and in pop culture in general, especially in the gaming industry and honestly all throughout all of pop culture, truth be told, that have really been mostly bad actors. They've been people that have been coming out saying a bunch of ridiculous things, doing a bunch of nonsense, and doing a bunch of things that simply don't go over very well. Well, we have seen a very much a different kind of reaction over the last few years. A lot of fans have been pushing back against this kind of nonsense. They've been pushing back against the kind of crazy stuff that a lot of these major corporations don't like to do just willy-nilly, thinking because of the fact that they are the biggest, one of the biggest games in town, that everybody will just automatically come back to them no matter what they do. Well, boys and girls, that is not the case anymore. Times have changed because there are so much good quality stuff out there. There are so many alternatives that we really don't need a lot of these major corporations in the case of like gaming and honestly in the arts and entertainment in all of in general. And that's a beautiful thing to see. The democratization, the spreading out, the decentralization of media and entertainment and business in general is a great thing overall because it works out much better for the person that matters at the end of the day the most. The customer, the fan, the person out there who makes your game, who makes your movie, who makes your product profitable, who makes your business profitable. And so many of these companies have gotten so big for their britches. Maybe they got too spoiled on government money and government subsidies, or maybe they got too spoiled on a bunch of crazy investment firms out there. I have no idea. But at some point, they decided that their customers were nothing more than serfs and that they would simply take whatever you'd get. Well, guess what? One company out there, Sony, boys and girls, has learned that lesson. Has learned that lesson very, very well. Because one of our favorite games out there, ladies and gentlemen, Helldivers 2, a game that has been an absolute phenomenal sensation across the gaming world, published by Sony, but created by a wonderful little Areahead Studios out there. It has been a blast of a game. Me and my friends have been playing it almost nonstop for the last few weeks since it's came out. It's been just an absolute blast. Everybody's loving it so much. It's been a great time. Well, out of the blue, out of nowhere, from this itty-bitty little fine print all the way at the bottom of the Steam acceptance nonsense for the Helldivers game, a game that has been out for 3 months, mind you, it was just last week announced that Helldivers, in order to play it on PC, would be required to link a PlayStation Network account. Well, needless to say, that didn't go over so very well with the fans, especially the PC gamers, who clearly had no desire to play or deal with PlayStation. That's why they bought it on PC. Also, take into account the fact that PlayStation has had numerous data breaches over the last few years. I know because I've been personally affected by one because I own a PlayStation 4 and I technically still have a PlayStation Network account. But this is the problem with this. You're forcing people who bought something on a different platform to not only give you their information, a company known to have repeated data breaches over the last decade, Sony, PlayStation Network. Now you're asking us to not only give you their give you our personal information, but you're also asking us to agree to your terms and service. A company who just recently filed for a patent to where they would have auto-detecting AI sensors in games in their online PlayStation Network that would ban players based on the AI's perception of them violating their terms of service. Not on somebody reporting them, not on repeated offenses, not because an actual human had reviewed it. No, an AI will ban you. So no wonder some people had a problem with agreeing to PlayStation's terms of service and linking up a PlayStation Network account. Well, guess what, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the fans have spoken. after an intense weekend of non-stop backlash, driving this game's ratings into the toilet. Still not worse than a lot of other bad games out there right now, which is some fun little facts and some fun little figures we'll show you in an article we've got over here. But after the fans pushing back, after you out there, the customer pushing back, you've won. A major corporation worth billions of dollars has now kowtowed and bowed down to you, the customer, the fan, the gamer, the nerd, the geek. You have won. Because PlayStation announced at midnight Eastern Time last night, ladies and gentlemen, from the PlayStation official X account. Got their fancy little gold check mark and everything. Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would have required Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and for current players beginning May 30th, will not be moving forward. Notice they dropped this at midnight Eastern Time, literally the day this was supposed to go into effect. After getting their butts handed to them all weekend over this nonsense, the last hour, they finally admit that maybe this wasn't a good idea. We're still learning what is best for the PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans. Oh yes, there's been feedback, and we're going to get into a little bit of that feedback. Well, let's look at the reaction to this right off the bat, because it's been beautiful. Master of the TDS, shout out to Master of the Total Defense Shogun. Are they actually learning? Gasp! Could it be possible? And of course, shout out to D-Day Cobra, Jeremy. Gamers win. Of course, what could get better than a picture of Sidney Sweeney? He's like a donut operator. Shout out to Donut. He's like, damn, it's like actions have consequences. I know, right? I know. Wow, that's great to hear. Democracy rejoice. We're getting a new cape. Wait, did we win? I was not expecting that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Boy, I wonder if the meme guy here, I wonder if this had anything to do with it. Sony stock one day. Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. Not a good look. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. I'm sure it has nothing to do with all of these wonderful things over here as well, because we've had a lot of great response. We've had a lot of great things go on. But as you can see right here, as noted in the post above to X, this policy will no longer go into effect. It comes in the wake of a massive backlash to the proposed policy that saw the active peak concurrent players fall below 100,000 on Sunday, May 5th. Just yesterday at the time of this recording, boys and girls, I know I haven't played since, maybe last week? Monday, before a lot of this really went psycho, before a lot of this really went crazy. I was one of those ones that didn't play all weekend. The peak concurrent dipped over 20,000 players in just 2 days since the policy was announced. StreamDB reports on Sunday, May 5th, peak concurrently only topped up to 95,781. All-time peak 2 months ago, almost 500,000 players. This is something that used to rank up 150, 250,000 players a day at any given time. This is a massive blowback. But it wasn't just there. It wasn't just people stop playing the game and protest, because guess what? With video games, that's real data with real numbers that everybody gets to see real fast. Corporate, like they do in Hollywood, can't just hide behind their streaming numbers, proprietary factors. They can't just shuffle away and play with Hollywood accounting. No, because guess what? We've all got access to this. We all know the transparency in gaming is why they can't hide this stuff anymore. And it's certainly why they can't hide it from investors when things like this go down. Once again, now We know peak concurrent players are down. How'd the reviews go? Players also bombarded the game with negative reviews on Steam. On May 3rd, following the announcement, it received 62,477 negative reviews and only 252 positive reviews. I wonder if the players were a little upset. I wonder if the fans were a little upset. I don't even think we've seen that many negative reviews in Hollywood on Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Now, given they generally kind of cap them at 10,000, and you don't really get to see the numbers much beyond that. But that's insane. That's 6 times that amount in literally just the following few days. This is insane. And only 252 positive reviews. On May 4th, the negative views increased to 114,303. There were no positive reviews. The negative reviews climbed even higher on May 5th to 154,651 negative reviews. That is, boys and girls, the power of each and every one of you. And that's not a huge number compared to the amount of people that have been playing this game. That's what? A fourth? A quarter? Like, that's insane. Since changing the in-game policy, the game has received 96,750 positive reviews. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. When we win, we cannot be negative Nancy's forever. You cannot continue to swallow the black pill when we win. Because here's the thing. The only people these companies have been listening to for a long time are the whacked out weirdos that we all complain about and make fun of. But if they don't hear from you, if you don't pat them on the back, if no one tells them, you did a good job, you reversed it, you listened to us, guess what? I'm going to give you a little something for that. I'm going to go back to playing Helldivers. I'm going to go back to promote it. I'm going to give you a positive review for making a change, because that's all it took was the numbers going down and the player numbers going down. Now, obviously, there were reports of people canceling their PlayStation Network accounts, but we have no real sign of how many numbers that actually were or how it might have affected their bottom line. But this we can show them. This everyone can see. And so when they do good, reward them. Because if we don't reward them when they do good, if we stay black-pilled on these companies every time they make a mistake, now if they don't try to correct it, I'm all down. Black pill on that company forever. Never give your money to them ever again. I don't care. But this company's admitted they made a mistake. And they fixed it. That, for me, boys and girls, deserves a little appreciation. Deserves a good response. Because guess what? The dog comes to the hand that feeds them. And if we feed them and we make them realize that, yes, we are the majority and we are the only thing that is going to fill your pockets. We are the only thing that is going to keep your company and your jobs alive. Then guess what? Not only do we win the culture war, which obviously is the most important aspect of all of this for all of the generations to come going forward, but also, we get back good video games. We get back good entertainment. And you know what? Some of these companies are never going to change. They're not. They're going to go the way of the dodo. They're going to get broken up and sold off into small pieces, and we'll have to go to other places for our entertainment. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The indie scenes prove they can handle our desires and take care of our itches. And that's, at the end of the day, all nerds and gamers want. That's all we want. That's all we want. Is our escapism. That's what we loved. We don't need to think about the politics of the day all the time. We don't need to think about all of the BS we've got going on in our own personal lives. We need escapism. That's what we come to for this kind of stuff. And when you don't make that escapism as easy as possible, we're going to push back on you. When you screw with our escapism, we're going to push back on you. And that's why we're winning. That's why Sony backed down. That's why all of you out there in the world won on this one. And we're going to keep on winning with this stuff right until the end. So don't stop. Don't give up. Take that black pill out of your mouth and swallow a happy one. Swallow a little blue pill. Swallow a little red pill. Swallow some other pill. Swallow whatever makes you happy. Because, boys and girls, this is a win for every fan out there, for every gamer out there, and for every person that the culture war matters to. And that's something you can take to the bank.